Real quiet now.
Well, the power went out, so we're gonna have to redo this, which is fine.
Greeting for what?
Is he just gonna skip a lot of the dialogues?
The queen gave it to me as thanks, but it is unusual. I dearly miss not to take it.
Nice.
For what do you come to? Because
Akara Takano. Everyone knows it is a
I am misled if holding a shell is all it takes to earn Ngati's favor.
Teheku tosses his hand and chuckles to himself. Andra is the goddess of loss. Legend says she calls the missing things to her with the music of the conch.
truly? Then I must hope she calls nothing back from me. Generations ago, there was a similar shell. When the old city sank, Andra's faithful gathered around that cornet and prayed for deliverance. But Andra is not a goddess of mercies. Instead of lifting them from the ruin, she pulled them down with the shell and said they would rise when it did.
He chuckles and leans back, clasping his hand over his generous midsection.
That is the story, anyway. Macabre, no?
Read his soul?
Because it...
Akara Takano.
I keep it locked away. To see and not to touch, Ikera. Generations, but Andra is... That is the story, because...
Akara.
What a noble purpose. But on... That is the... Because...
Akara.
But on... That is the story.
Okay, thank God. Exhausted. His stupid dialogue option. Save! So I don't have to do that again. Okay, so the point of getting that conch is so that I can go back down into the, Oh, that's quite far.
You're a follower of the light?
The light? Oh, you mean... Depends on what you mean by follow.
Maybe you heard earlier? I follow Aethys too. Mostly, in a way. I mean, I am a child of the Dawn Stars, even if firstly I'm a Gonite.
That's good, I guess. For you.
Oh, maybe you don't want to talk about it. That's all right. Surely, some other time, then. Was it the way I said it? Or maybe I'm in need of a washing.
She is so adorable. Okay, we're gonna need to go here. Let's go to Delver's Row.
Hey, I wanted to ask you something. It's about Shodi.
What do you want to ask?
She means well. I can see that. And she's spirited, and if I was still young and didn't know the things I know, it'd be different. But anybody got that much faith in any god, let alone Aethys? I don't know how to talk to someone like that. Not these days. I get why she's like that. And I was there once, long time back. But it's 'cause of that I can't see a way to respect it. I'm no good at hiding it from her either. I don't see this getting better.
There's more to her than you're giving her credit for.
Doesn't seem like she's any different than what she shows.
She's a Dawn Star, but she doesn't worship Eothas. She worships Gon.
Same thing, really. That's just her trying to find a way to worship Aethys that makes sense to her. I guess that sounds familiar now that you mention it.
You the Watcher? Dario said you couldn't pass.
Yeah, I can pass. But that means I've already killed everything here anyway, so it's not like you can stop me. I cannot wait to replay this game and play a wizard druid or something like that and just have pure damaging spells with like 3,000 strength score. It'll be amazing.
Bring them down!
Leave it to me. I'll take care of it.
Stupid bats. But let's open this this pathway over here. Good, and respawn, thank God. Yes.
I see something. I'll deal with it.
Done. I'll see it. Leave it to me.
Pull axe.
Where there's a pick, it's finished.
I'll see it.
Large shield. What does this do? Minus 100 melee damage received for when on launching attacks. Oh, so launching attack doesn't work on her. Cool. Standard attack AoE hits primary target and up to 2 additional targets, friend or foe. Ooh. Ooh. Kahu Scout. Deflection, quality exceptional, enemy engaged, shield deflection, grant soul strike. Luminous dissonance, minus incoming damage from spells, improving metaphysics skills. Plus 5% incoming damage from weapons. Oh. Oh, that's really good for you. Okay, let's get out of here.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Okay, Ashley. I know that. Jeez. Can I make any food? All right then. Let's eat some of that. The elf jumps back as the door opens. She has her weapon raised, ready to attack, but seeing you, she slowly lowers it.
I used to court a girl who did that whenever I stopped by. Miss her.
It's you. But how'd you get through there?
She peers through the door, looking at a shrine on the other side.
Is that it?
She growls in exacerbation, looking at you. What exactly are you looking for?
There's an old temple of Andra. Dario said it was just past this door.
She looks around as if hoping to find something she missed.
Dario said there was a whole temple back here.
Came upon a skiff painting, kneeling, rocking water. Road to Quinn's birth. Row, row, row.
What can I do you for?
Yes, Captain.
Yes?
To the Serpent's Crown. Shit. Gotta go burn a body before I forget. What time? Oh, it's all 5 hours already. Oh my god.
Candles and bombs.
You there. What are you doing?
Muhai's back. I like to commit her body to the flames.
Muhai?
The priest's calm demeanor is shattered, but hisses under and she glances at both of you.
Do you know what you do? This woman you carry, she cannot receive such rites. You risk the Queen's anger. Muhai has broken with Wahana. The Queen has forbade that any should have contact with her. Akira? She would be banished to the Undercity if not for her sickness. And now that has finished her.
Sounds like you're very obedient for a priest of Magran.
To strike without purpose only dulls the blade. Magran teaches us to burn away what is weak within us. Fear, want, arrogance. Those things which rot the soul from within. A group of the Wapua came to seek Muhai's counsel, for she was known as a great navigator. Muhai was of the Oweki before she came to Neketaka. The Oweki and Wapua were enemies for many years, before Queen Onekaza's time. Muhai misled the hunting party, and they were lost. All of us are Kahanga now. To harm Wapua is to harm Oweki. As Muhai turned her back upon her kin, so we were commanded to turn ours upon her. The Queen would have us join our tribes into one raised fist. She could not let Muhai's crime stand.
Unity has made you soft. You now depend upon the Queen instead of fighting your own battles.
The Kahanga have conquered much of the Deadfire. Now, Onekaza shapes the course of our future. I say, it is her example we must follow. It is good of you to care so for one of our people. Come. Give me the body.
Here you go.
I will bury her beyond the great city walls. It is the best that I can do.
No, I will burn her body.
You would defy the word of our queen?
Can she not redeem herself?
Muhai is dead. She has lost her final battle.
Who says one's chance for redemption ends with death? For some, it's only the beginning.
Come. Give me the body. You would defy the word of our queen?
Yeah. The grin burned in the brazier and lands and scattered in the Emperor's body, burned with unnatural swiftness, and the flame reduced to ash when it seemed mere moments.
This will not go unnoticed, outsider.
It is done. I can feel it. I am certain of it. My essence returns to me.
You can detect no change in Muhai's spectral form, but now that her corpse is gone, all the same raises her hand to heighten her eyes, examining them.
You have greater loyalty within you than those of my own blood, Watcher. You have freed me.
Happy to help.
When I was yet not too sick to rise, and had hope of leaving the city, I hid away a jewel with which I could buy passage. Climb the temple steps and search among the pillars. You will find it behind a loose stone. I will not sail again. Perhaps you can make use of it. I will find my way from here. Amira's winds blow sweet upon you, Watcher. May you always find what you seek.
Okay. Right. Like I care what the Queen thinks.
You must... Gather your party before venturing forth.
I'll see it done.
Go, come on. I ain't got all day. Well, I do. Well, I have like an hour more before I have to go. But, you know, you get the point.
While I am flattered by the esteemed Hazanui's confidence, I must wonder how my people are meant to have destroyed an entire colony overnight.
The valiant dignitary aims a withering look across the aisle. A middle-aged woman with a square jaw and tar-stained teeth meets it.
You tell us. It's no coincidence that your outpost at Port Mage survived the recent storm.
She pulls a splendor pipe from her pocket, but at a look of the queen attendants, she puts it away.
You speak as if I could command the tides. While you are casting your blame in a wide net, why not look to our Kahanga allies? We do not share their talent for shaping water.
The sizable Amal, standing by the throne, takes a bold step forward and flares his nostril at the assembled dignitaries. A hush falls over the room.
I say our guest forgets himself.
He clears his throat and sweeps his gaze from Nero to the rest of the room.
Brother, stand down.
Up to this point, the queen has studied the proceeding with an even expression. She half rises from her throne as she fixates on the Prince Arui.
You are the one who mistakes my throne room for a sparring arena. I say this is beneath us.
As Arui lowers his head, the queen slowly centers her gaze on you and leaves it there.
An interesting visitor in difficult times. You cannot be here to deliver a favorable omen.
Though her mouth doesn't move, a hugging voice comes to you like an insistent memory nestled among her. What? Okay, shake your head.
The gods remember the honest, and so do I.
Onexica nods.
Allow me to apologize as I toss you before the wolves.
Though she turns to the dignitary, I feel her attention on you.
This one is a watcher blessed by Tangaloa. I suspect that many of our questions about Hasongo will soon be answered.
The queen's voice filled the expanse of the room, leaving you with a hushed silence to fill. If it pleases the court, I've journeyed from a crippled Port Mage.
Huck, I know this one. Her parlor tricks frightened 10 years of every sailor in Queen's Berth.
Raising her hand for silence, Onexica looks to her brother. He approaches and exchanges a few words, too quietly to hear. She lifts her gaze to you once more.
We assembled to discuss the darkening of Hasongo, one of Rawatai's colonies. Watcher, it seems you have the floor.
She opens her palms and waits. Port Mage suffered similar damage when Eothas passed through.
Huh. What sailor's tale is this?
There's no sane explanation for what's been happening. You keep waiting for one, it'll be too late.
Does tilling the soils of the Eastern Reach drive all men mad? You sound as crazy as the Dawnstar Dreamers.
She looked at Adair the way one would look at an especially rabid, fascinating animal.
Have you not heard the rumors, Karu? An Adra Colossus marching across the sea. Sailor tales, but credible ones.
Nero crosses his arm, looking distinctly uncomfortable.
How came a watcher from half the world away to be involved in these happenings? Enlighten the court.
Beereth herself sent me to track down Eothas.
The Lady of Doors must have great confidence in you.
Onexica tones is amused. Her expression is not.
Tracking down a god who stands as tall as a mountain. A fisherman with poor eyesight could do this. My priests will trip over their feet to interpret his divine plan. Watcher, can you cut through the din and tell for what he comes to the Deadfire?
Yes, I plan on using the Adra pillar to track and ultimately confront Eothas.
How resourceful of you. The Isles are studded with enough luminous Adra to bankroll an economy.
She turns a quiet glance in Nero's direction.
I believe our course is clear. We will send the Watcher to Hisongo.
Onozeka spreads her hands, calmly assured of her reasoning.
Set sail to the west of Nekataka. I would tell you to keep a weather eye out for a lighthouse, but the God of Light did not appreciate competition. Something to add, Hazanui? You have an eager look about you. She believes herself entitled to my ear, I say.
Onozeka's gaze wandered back to you only briefly.
Only that Hisongo is a Rawatayan outpost. It would be useful for the Watcher to take one of ours along.
She inclines her chin at another woman standing nearby.
Ma'am.
A composed Amala stands at attention. She furrowed her brow, cleaving down otherwise warm feature. By her feet, a colorful bird preens itself without concern.
Maya's an expert sailor and a better sharpshooter. The best the Brass Citadel has to offer.
She looks at you in the eye and gives you a slow nod.
Whatever comes your way, she'll see it first.
If it gets me and Ashiza out of diplomat duty, we'd set sail with a drunk scolder at the helm.
Maya sighs with a resignation and nudges her bird affectionately with her toe.
Ac, perfecto. Do you mean to stop Eothas by shooting him? Seri Palagina will go with the Watcher. Show her how the Republic's handled things.
Great. Nero waves airily. The guard behind him coughs politely.
Your Excellency, Palagina Messerai has been banished? She has been seen in Queen's Berth. I can have a report to headquarters.
Nero silences the guard and with a withering look and a sharp gesture.
You should feel no obligation to take on additional crew. The choice is yours.
I'll take Maya. Always good to have a rifle on hand.
Say the word and I'll shoot the tip off a green boy's nose.
Ishiza look up at Maya and warble something agreeable.
You're making a mistake, Watcher. In times like these, trustworthy allies are the most valuable asset of all.
Calm down, Nero. I'm sure you'll get one of your spies in place eventually.
A lazy half-smile tugs at her mouth.
In the meantime, Watcher, I hope you'll meet me in the Brass Citadel. There's more for us to discuss among friendlier company.
She glares briefly at Nero.
I believe we are finished here. Aruihi?
The Queen Onozeka rises from her throne and the surrounding guard stands at immediate attention.
Aren't we popular? Take care at Hisongo. The Deadfire was overfull before Eothas blundered in.
Onozeka nods to you as she adjourns.
Your allies will use you toward any end. Do not give your trust lightly.
Onozeka clears her throat and sweeps the room with her gaze.
I say it is beyond time our guests lick their wounds somewhere else.
He banished the foreign dignitary with a swift and unmistakably disgusted wave.
Let's speak.
Pure Ranger. She's a range, so I have to get rid of one of these guys, right? I don't need that many healers. Though I don't like him. I'll get rid of him. Facina? Who the hell is Facina? Oh, she's a sorcerer. Interesting. Maya.
While we have the chance.
I know exactly what you're thinking.
Maya folds her arm and clicks her tongue against the roof of her mouth. What's that?
You're asking yourself, how did I let the Royal Deadfire Company plant an informant in my crew?
She chuckles to herself, but there's no resignation to it.
My superiors might expect me to report in from time to time, but don't read too much into it. You're not the only big thing happening around here. I'm in this for a lot of information, a little diplomacy, and plenty of target practice.
Well, at least you're upfront about spying on me.
Better that you hear it from me than someone else, right? The company isn't in the business of reassigning officers outside of the mission unless they've got a damn good reason. And you are a damn good reason. Take the compliment.
What if my action damaged the Royal Deadfire Company?
This whole campaign is a risk-benefit analysis. The Navy knows you're a gamble, and they're factoring in all potential losses.
Maya wipes a line of black powder from her cheek.
Rawatai is here to do some good work, since the Huana can't seem to do it themselves. Maybe just try and stay out of our way.
I'm seeking you this. I want no part in trading company drama.
Then I look forward to seeing how long it takes before you find yourself in someone's back pocket. Oh, guess you ought to meet the bird. Ishi is smarter than he looks, but don't expect him to do any tricks.
She nods towards the colorful bird of prey hopping about your ankles.
Ishi, come.
Maya taps her arm with 2 fingers and flicks her tongue again.
That's a good-looking bird.
Adair raises one hand and waggles his index finger.
Birdie. Hey, Birdie.
He says, show no sign of recognition toward Maya or Adair. Clicks my tongue like Maya? Cocking his head, Izzy turns to you with a mixture of curiosity and skepticism. Maya thumbs her chin, nodding.
Takes practice before he'll listen to you properly, but that's a good start.
Adair nods at Izia, who bobs his head in response. Adair nods twice, and the large bird replies with 2-headed bobs. Adair begins tilting his head up and down, and Izia's follow it with vigorous, full-body bobs. Encouraged, Adair starts bouncing his own body up and down, in which points Izia stops bouncing, watching Adair with cockeyed curiosity.
Did your friend suffer a head wound? Before we get into deeper waters, I've got a question. You've got a ship and a title. Being captain means more than just wearing a big hat. A lot of tough calls to be made.
But I still get the big hat, right?
Well, naturally. That's your right. A crew can be like family. They can also be like a nest of squalling infants. Let's say your galley cook was fixing to organize the rest of the crew into a mutiny. How would you handle it?
I kill her.
Terror is a kind of loyalty, as my first captain always said. Of course, the only right answer is the one that works in a given time and place. I just wanted to hear yours.
Ever stifle a mutiny yourself?
Mostly preemptive measures. We try to pull the weeds before they reach the garden. But enough about me. Glad to be aboard, Captain.
I have some questions.
I've got some answers.
You're one of the Khan's siblings, aren't you?
Sure am. And I heard that you two spent some time together. Funny how the gods toss things together. Kana came back from the Deerwood with a head full of ideas about Rawatai's expansion. Getting out from under the academics suited him. I never knew he could be so political. More than his sister ever could be. You clearly had some sway on his opinions, more than I ever did. Wish you had told Kana to give up on the poetry. He's got no ear for it.
Glad he's making a difference. Take it easy on him.
No? As his sister, I'm supposed to catalog his missteps. I do with bullets what Kana did with words. Just in case you were wondering, the comparison ends there.
Tips her head and studies you to make sure your point come across. How did you and Isha first get acquainted?
I won a shooting competition at the Ranganui's estate. This was a few years before enlisting with the Navy. As a reward, he gave me the freedom of the Royal Eyrie and said I could take my pick of the warbirds.
Maya Nielsen stroked under Isa's beak.
Stinkfeathers here kicked a rather pretty hawk off my arm so he could have me all to himself. Been inseparable ever since.
Hello, Isha. Who's a good bird? The bird cocks his head and his eyes reflecting a mixture of friendly recognition and murderous calculation.
Uh-oh. That's his I'm hungry and you're wasting my time face. Better step back, Captain.
Tell me about your family.
Well, my parents came from the Deadfire. I'm getting a taste of my roots.
Maya exhales and glances away.
After they immigrated to Rawatai, their talents caught the Ranganui's eye. He saw them as this spectacle, this achievement of the old country, I guess. So they were honored guests. Not many Huana rose to distinction in Takoa. We were also curiosities. Even as we broke the same bread and tossed back the same wine, the Ranganui's friends always checked under the table to see if I had a tail. Kana thought it was hilarious.
Harmless fun, I'm sure.
Maybe if a kid does it once. When grown men and women do it, I have my doubts. Growing up in the Ranganui's shadow wasn't all bad. We had tutors and advisors at our disposal, and lots of folk from stranger parts than these. I spent my days learning to shoot, while my more academic siblings learned to express themselves. I leave you to judge who spent their time better. Speak freely.
So she has to be one of the main ones. Yep.
Speak freely. Aye, aye. Captain?
Yes? As you wish.
Save. Prince Arui.
Your coming is a favorable omen already.
The prince nods and crosses his arm, a self-satisfied smile on his lips. I know enough not to believe in omens.
Nonsense. How else do the gods whisper in our ear? You happen by a time when our rivals bicker and tear at each other's throats, bringing Ngati's chosen on your trek up the mountain.
He nods to Takegu with approval.
It does not take a priest to see how the gods send us an outsider to dig under the skin of our enemies.
Ari chuckled to himself and nod. You don't seem to take your rival very seriously.
How can I when they posture and peck like a pair of kata birds?
Ari smirks and shakes his head.
I will not paddle around the island. My sister wants to know if you are as useful as you are disruptive.
She trusts
me to judge this. You did not come this far to serve the crown, I say. But sailing is an expensive hobby. Loyal service can keep your galley stocked.
Have any problem with loyalty lately?
Nekataka is a city of friends, I say. We exchange so much between districts.
His smile tightens into a hard line.
Even my sister's advisors dine at the officers' lounge and indulge at the wild mare.
Aruhi grimaces and look away. I take it you prefer friends to remain close.
Here in Serpent's Crown, I can guarantee safety. But cavorting with outsiders, Akira, that is open water.
He opens his palm and sighs.
Takehu, I must remind you to be vigilant. Even though you will ignore my advice.
Ari raises his brow and smirks.
My prince, wild mares could not keep me from the wild mare, but I will remember your words.
A helpful warning, Herald of Berith. From one friend to another.
I could use some extra coin to outfit the Defiant.
Akira, to patch a hull or stitch a sail is costly when supplies come from distant islands. The city has honest work for those in need, I say, and insists that everyone carry a heavy purse.
May I speak with the queen?
I am Onikaza's shield. For a time, let it suffice that we speak with the same authority.
I have some questions.
After the sorry display we have put on, you have every right to be curious. Have on then.
The prince nods. I'm still not sure what that argument was about.
The trading companies beat their chests and howl at each other. Business and conquest speak louder than hospitality. If I was the Hazanui, I would think twice before barking that a tribe as wealthy and ruthless as the Valians destroyed my lighthouse.
How does the caste system work in Nekataka?
It is the same in the city as anywhere in the Deadfire. Mataru judge our souls at birth and organize us for the survival of the tribe. I am not the first to say it, but Nekataka has more walls than beaches, more roads than clearings, and more people than fish. Nowhere in the city does a Raparu sit around the same fire as a Mataru. Nekataka tests our traditions, I say.
Don't you see that as a contradiction?
What man or woman of the Isles does not? Our ancestors built this place. We are the hermit crab who occupies a fallen shell. It is for my sister and her priest to judge the fit. It is this. I am not. Nowhere in the city does a Raparu sit around the city. You speak. Our ancestors. It is for my sister and her. It is this. I am not. Nowhere in this. Akira, speak on, I say.
You and Onizaka represent the Kahanga tribe?
Akira, as the largest and most prosperous of the Deadfire tribes, the Kahanga have some authority to speak for the others. I say Onikaza and I are large stones in a tide pool, standing tall as the water rises to our necks.
You don't seem to think much of the trading companies.
My sister has mastered the diplomat's tongue, and I am foolish to give her frustrations a loud voice.
She busy crashed the back of his head.
Akira, I pray every day that Ngati tests the outsiders against her tallest waves and longest serpents.
The ocean is a few monsters short since the Armada showed up. I think we passed your fish god's trial.
Quite so, Maya.
What do you think of your sister's role?
We agree on much, I say. The prosperity of the Huana, our burden to appease the gods. In the trading companies, Onikaza sees Worika testing us, weighing who deserves the Isles. I see Ngate sending krakens of gold and iron against our ship, but arming us with a single harpoon. The gods will judge us by our persistence and our grace before foes. While you are in Nekataka, maybe you are interested in making yourself enjoy your I see you pulled in Akira, but have you pried any secrets from the gullet yet? Maya, I hope you do not judge our fair city too harshly.
What? Look, keep your business where it belongs, with the captain.
Does Principe are smuggling cargo via the Undercroft?
Undercroft, a darker, more fetid layer of Nekataka, I say. Onikaza and I are the mind and heart of the city, but the bowels, these we cannot reach. What say? Did Ngati's chosen learn anything from the voyage below?
My prince, I have always known those who pray for Ngati's favor, but only now do I see those who depend on it.
Akira, I say that a feather of Amira's wisdom drifted down to find you. At least Delver's Row is a stable target. The crown has time to decide the next steps.
For what it's worth, I think Delver's Row should remain untouched.
What say? You hit upon my curiosity. Speak on.
The Prahara are barely in control of their lives as is. Don't take that away from them.
You are quick to come to their defense, but the Raparu must recall their place in society. If the black market will expend its resources toward the Raparu, then I say they have bought an uneasy truce. Delver's Row is safe, for now. Be sure that I do not regret this.
Water Shapers are helping the pirates bring in ships.
To Kehu, I say that no one wanted to hear your suspicions confirmed.
Akira, me least of all, my prince.
When it comes to the dignity of the guild, the crown can compromise nothing. Onikaza will see their leadership disciplined, I say.
They must have needed the money. Can you imagine why?
Akira, I cannot. Onikaza and I both expect more from the guild, I say. She will not be pleased. Akira, but at least you returned to me in one piece. You are not the first agent I sent to the gullet, but you are the first to return. I say I would feel safe anywhere with Rauatai's sharpest weapon in my arsenal.
If you're trying to flatter me, stop taking notes from my brother the poet.
My fault are arming grimaces at Ari.
I cannot say that I desire to send you to worse places than the gullet, but...
But you're going to anyways?
Akira, my apologies. Does the name Ukaizo mean anything to you?
A lost city of local fable, are to believe.
Fable? No. History, I say. Ukaizo was the home of the Huana before cataclysm and destruction wiped the island from the Deadfire. That is the story. Story or no, I make no secret that we search for Ukaizo. I do not share this lightly, I say.
Please, speak on. If it looks like I'm taking notes, it's because I am.
Should I leave this in the hands of someone I trust instead?
Just get it on with it. You can trust me.
Kira, I should hope so. Our tribes are spread across many isles, but it is Ukaizo which binds us. Ukaizo, and the knowledge that we must return. To that end, a local cartographer secured a lead. A breadcrumb to a breadcrumb, I say. I sent an expedition to Matario Cozy, one of the Sanctuary Isles. They were to retrieve evidence of our lost homeland. They have yet to return.
Sanctuary Isles?
They were sites where our ancestors grouped in terms of crisis. Constants in changing seas. You have the cartographer Atepo to thank. He wanders the Western Shrine if you would know more.
What makes you think that the Motari of Cozy contains evidence of Ukaizo?
The Sanctuary Isles give comfort and guidance to sailors on the long journey home. I am hoping the island can remember its purpose and return us to the home we lost.
How has the island remained hidden all this time?
A question for those with years to gather reeds and scribe their thoughts. It might be that someone or something on the island does not wish to be found. In better times than these, I would have been happy to oblige.
Should I expect any resistance?
The trading companies would not have thought to look for Matario Cozy, but now they are vultures to carrion. I do not doubt that our rivals race for the same thing, all while we fall behind. Ikira, then you are ready to depart?
I trust you will relay my helpfulness to the Queen.
Naturally, I say. My sister remembers her friends. I remember her enemies. To Kehu, I trust you are going? I want the tribes to know that Ngati's chosen stood among those who threw open the gates of Ukaizo.
I make no promises of dirtying my hands in some fetid jungle, but I do not protest a calm voyage.
Before you go,
that did seem like too nice a way to end it.
The expedition. I have reason to believe they will not be returning to Nekataka.
Go on.
We found this at the palace doorstep, cut from the robe of the expedition leader.
He reaches into his pocket and draws forth a wad reed of stained bark cloth.
One mystery heaped on another, I say.
He drags his thumb over the cloth and frowns on himself. Who could have sent this?
If you learn in your travels, I hope you will tell me. The crown has grown too accustomed to warnings, I say.
He thumbs the fabric and frowns. Can I see that? I might be able to learn something from it. Nodding, he regrings his crab's essence fabric like thread woman to highly unraveled. Trees towers above you. Ropey vines stretch like tentacles across the marshy ruin. It takes all of your strength to trudge through the hip-deep water. You glance over your shoulder, but the woman and men of your company aren't there. Then a shape moves off in the distance. You draw your weapon, feeling now more alone than ever. The vision departs, leaving you with a deep pit in your stomach and a phantom sensation that nothing has gone as it should have. The prince regards you expectantly. The owner of this rope is surely dead. Hold out hope for the rest.
Kira, that is something, I say. Take care if you alight on Matario Cozy. My fear is that the island is sanctuary no more. Prepare yourself for a hard voyage northeast of Nekataka. Matario Cozy is nestled in the Kua Rakuhu Islands, in the midst of a landmass that resembles a storm, like the fall of Ukaizo locked in time.
Don't mind me as I take down those coordinates.
Certain death it is, then.
Do not leave me in suspense, I say. Have you found Matario Cozy? Ask. Whatever I know is for you. Just so. Do not leave me in suspense. If you have questions, the royal brother will hear you. Do not leave me in suspense. Do not leave me in. If you have questions, the royal brother will hear you.
I should have talked about the food shortage in the Gullet.
Shortage? Are the Raparu not fed the leavings of the Kwaru and Mataru?
The Dawnstar have agreed to offer a share of their crops to Nikitaka, as long as the bulk of it goes to Raparu.
My sister would call this a test from the gods. It is our role to feed the Raparu, and we do not pass on our duties to outsiders. But I am of a different mind. Nothing pleases Ngati like an unlikely solution, and this is what you bring. Akira, then let it be so.
Nice.
If you have more to say, I am not above listening.
I have a question to you about Nohana.
Akira, both topics I know well.
I want to know more about Ukaizo.
My sister would say that Ukaizo is the birth canal of the tribes, and we are destined to return and discover ourselves again. Ask Onikaza if you would know more. Do not leave me if you have questions. The royal... Do not ask. Whatever, just so. Do not leave me in...
Okay. You meet a tall, brown-haired man dressed in a full-plate mail that might not normally catch your eye, but his mail is unusual, colored in a deep green, emblazoned with an image of golden tree. Hands on the pommel of his sword, he watches the crowd go by with keen eyes, relaxed yet alert. He narrows his eyes when he spots you.
What do you need of me? Well?
Tell me about yourself. Interesting armor you have there.
I suppose it is. Are you familiar with the shield bearers of St. Elka? We are a paladin order.
Nod.
Word of our order travels far then. Good. I am the son of a disgraced noble family. My father and brothers were executed for treason when I was a boy. Rightfully so, I must add. And my mother, sister, and I were thrown out on the street. All we had to our names was a trunk full of heirlooms. One of them was this suit of armor, which belonged to my eldest brother. Now I endeavor to live up to its promise and redeem my family's honor. That's the long and short of it, really.
Can you tell me about yourself?
I suppose it is. The order began... The order... I am the... All we had... That's the long and short of it, really. I am the son... All we had... That's the long and short of it, well, you would need to become a shield... My thanks.
Something on your mind?
Is there anything the Watcher does not see? We have both seen the worst of the city. How the Raparu cluster like sea rats. Delver's Row will take care of them for a time. But I say the Crown will not suffer the Principe for long. How did the stone walls and paved lanes of Nekitaka divide us so? You have walked the length of Nekitaka's spine. How would you serve the needs of all these people at once?
I start with what you have and find a better system.
Akira, a practical solution, and one open to change. I was hard-pressed to find insight like yours in Pariki's Overlook. You have questions?
What is it? Of course.
Ado, Watcher. Clearly you are an interesting woman to know.
So... yeah, I don't know. The Sunscar Hana glances up from the rumble sheets apartment and his hand regards you with unease.
A Tepu, drawer of maps. I have nothing to sell unless you are needing something else.
You're cartographer who discovered the Motarkozi, correct?
What I discovered remains to be seen. The Sanctuary Isles were thought to be lost beneath the waves. If I stumbled upon one, I can think of worse finds to credit my name.
Tell me about the Sanctuary Isles.
Our ancestors marked off specific islands across Deadfire as rallying points in case a great misfortune split up the tribes. Even they could not have guessed how important the Isles would become. Some thousands of years ago, volcanoes, storms, and quakes shook the archipelago. Any one of those do happen, but never with such ferocity or all at once. The Juana survived by taking shelter on the Sanctuary Isles to save our society, and not just any one tribe. Since those days, we have not found any of the old Sanctuary Isles. Ngati took some beneath the waves, taking whole tribes with her. Others were lost to time and forgetfulness. I am told that the Wahaki are protective toward the Isles, but that is their business.
Okay. How do you make that discovery?
I was surveying the waters around an atoll when a storm dragged my ship off course. The waters were unknown to me. When a green fleck appeared in my spyglass, I unfurled my sail. The shore twisted around itself, confusing even this old navigator until I found myself at the center. I did not make it far up the beach before I spotted signs of habitation. Marking my coordinates and orienting myself by the evening sky, I made for Neketaka to tell the crown of my findings.
You mentioned that the entire tribe were lost?
Understand, the Deadfire was broken. The lives lost could not be counted, and more has been forgotten than may ever be remembered. Imagine how much history we lost in a single year, much less the millennia that followed. Whatever our people hoped for themselves, we may never know if we got it right or wrong.
If I was venturing to this island, what might I find?
Death. I did not mean to frighten you. These islands have known great tragedy, and millennia have passed in cheerless silence.
Great.
Should you land on a sanctuary isle, do not expect to find welcome.
Okay.
If we must.
More questions?
I will not deny curiosity.
Oh, farewell.
Yes? You need something else?
Well, you must have seen much on your travels. Ever found a sign of Ukaizo? Hey, Cammy. I just heard your word caused him to speak of attention of those who live pressed together in this land.
There is not a Juana in all of the Deadfire who does not take to the open water hoping to catch a glimpse of the lost Ukaizo. Oh, if I could walk the beaches of our ancestors, take a fleeting glimpse of what they left behind, mine would be a life well lived.
What will you hope to find out, Ukaizo?
The same thing we all hope for. Answers to the long silence that precedes our history. Who we were could tell us who we are. But if I am being selfish, maps, charts. Our ancestors were keen explorers, and a roll of their parchment could teach us more than what we have gathered in the last century.
Okay. That was great lore.
Leave it to me.
What? Upstairs, then.
You songwriters need a guild if you hope to learn discipline.
Not so. We speak in the tongue of Ngati and Amira. Your pretty dances may upset the puddle.
Barati
We
pays
command the
coin
wind and
to
sky.
feed the great eel.
Hey, I have missed our little talks.
Akira.
He smells one touched by the great eel, does Barati. You are a woman who sits across a fire with death. Akira?
The Paladin and I are on familiar terms. He nods, clapping his hand with great delight.
For glutting mighty Tangaloa and hurling foes into their next life, Barati can offer payment. Coins for feeding hungry gods. Akira?
Akira.
Rewarding those who appease the great eel. This is Barati's cause. May the beasts of the Dreaming Lands never know famine.
What bounties do you have?
Tangaloa rolls a hungry eye toward Dichila, a Valian captain who scouts for luminous Adra in sacred lands.
I'll take it.
Akira. Tangaloa knew it would be so. Dichila sails her Voyager Alicio around the waters south of Neketaka. The great eel hungers for her soul.
Oh, okay.
Ask, but do not keep the great eel waiting.
I have so many bounties now. My goodness.
There's something ahead.
Walking into random people's room and stealing their stuff. Classic RPG.
What does water shaping feel like, Takehu?
Akira, it is like making love to a bloom of jellyfish.
What?
Like 1,000 wet kisses with a delicate caress under the skin.
I may have missed my calling.
I don't know if you ever touch a jellyfish, but I don't think making love to them would feel very good. Alright, so what do I have to do now? Anything else in here? Oh, right, I have to go turn in this. Okay, go inform Inui. Let's do that. Golet. Inui's home. Finish all the quests in this city. This city was huge. My goodness. I spent 15 hours in this city. I haven't even left it. And only now have I even, like, have a glimpse of, like, oh, I might be done with everything here. Okay. The Dawnstar will share their crops, and the Queen will allocate the majority of for the gullet. The old man's eyes glistened.
I heard of missionaries distributing food throughout the gullet, though I did not think it could be true. Not in this lifetime could I have hoped for more. To have garnered our Queen's generosity. I ache to believe it. Never can I thank you enough, Watcher who has the ear of both kith and gods. Always the Raparu will know of your kindness. Should you need refuge within Nekataka, know that the Raparu will stand by your side.
Take care, old man.
May Amira's wind ever fill your sails, girl. We will not forget what you have done for us.
Yay! I got 5,000 EXP for that. Very good. How much more do I need? I need 5,000 more EXP. Divided by 5 because there's 5 people. So technically I need like what? 25,000 EXP before I level again? Man. Well, I can't spend more money because I need these money so I can hang on now. What? What was that? Okay, that was weird. The game minimized itself. And, okay. Huh. I thought the power went out again. That would suck. Okay, so what do I need to do here? Return to Captain Ferrante. Where? I am so confused. Where do I go and turn in Ferrante? Where is he? It says that it's in the Sacred Stairs, but my goodness. This is why I don't like games like this, guys. Like,
You're giving Ishi a weird look. What did he do?
I'm not giving him a weird look. He's giving me a weird look.
like I really, really honestly think that there should be quest markers. At the very least. Return to Captain Ferrante in the Sacred Stairs. Please, I just want to know where I can turn in this quest. Oh my god. Captain Ferrante. Now that I have learned, Ferrante will want to know my findings. Where is this person?